Why, then, was this suicidal attack ordered in the first place? The answer may lie in the personality of the man who made the decisions. There was no general more knowledgeable or more strategically brilliant than the great General Robert E. Lee. But could he have made a series of catastrophic blunders that led to the defeat of the South? Could Lee have underestimated his enemy and overestimated his own troops?
I think it's impossible to overstate the confidence with which Lee and his army marched north in June and July 1863. Lee believed that his infantry could accomplish anything. He'd seen them accomplish prodigious feats at Chancellorsville in early May 1863 and on other fields before that. And the men in turn had seen Lee put them in positions where they won dramatic victories against very long odds.
At Lee's side was his most trusted officer, General James Longstreet. Sensing disaster on the morning of the attack, Longstreet repeatedly tried to dissuade Lee from making the assault, arguing that Lee's plan was too hazardous.
When Lee and Longstreet initially were discussing how many men were going to be in the attack, how many infantry, Lee had said, ballpark figure, he said 15,000. And Longstreet responded to that by saying, you'd need at least 30,000 men to make this attack. And he said even then the issue would be in doubt. You have to keep in mind that Longstreet had conducted some pretty big attacks in this war, so he knew what he was talking about when he was saying that many soldiers.
But 30,000 men would be a third of Lee's army, too many men to risk in a single attack. Lee, certain of his men's capability to fight, felt confident that half of Longstreet's number could take the hill, and he ordered Longstreet to proceed. Despite his serious concerns about Lee's plan, Longstreet accepted his orders and formulated his attack. But Longstreet was so distressed about Lee's plan, he would not trust himself to direct the attack. Instead, in a move that startles historians to this day, he handed the responsibility of calling the attack to his 28-year-old artillery commander, E.P. Alexander. Here is where the chain of command begins to unravel.
When Longstreet knew that he was going to be in charge, he then tried to shift the responsibility to the shoulders of Edward Porter Alexander, who wasn't even a general, but was in command of the artillery bombardment. I think Longstreet was simply not willing to be the one who was going to be responsible for sending these troops forward.